Welcome to Outstanding Lives Network. I'm Sharon Love, and today I'm talking with Brad Tyler West of Doorways and Such. Welcome, Brad.
Well, thanks for having me, Sharon. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm very, very inspired by your story of when you were younger, and was it 13 years old when you were so depressed about being gay that you almost took your life?
Yeah, actually, 12 or 13. I was in grade 6. So in Australia, I think that's 12 years old. The school system is slightly different in Australia than it is here. But, like so many people who grew up being gay, I found out that I was different very early on. I remember being called a faggot at the age of 4 by another boy. And that name stuck with me for my entire childhood. Every boy I interacted with, I was the faggot, the sissy, the homo, the poofter, titty boy, bum boy. I was teased horrendously, and it didn't matter if I changed schools, and I did change schools a number of times. Coming to a new school, you think a new start, fresh kids, within 4 seconds of interacting with them, you're a fag, you're a homo, you're a poofter, you're a sissy. And I didn't even know what those things meant in terms of desire or attraction. I just knew it was bad. And then when adolescence started to kick in and the girl thing wasn't happening and I was having crushes on boys and the teasing escalated and it was horrendous. School was incredibly unsafe for me. There were beatings, being spat on in the hallways, pushed into lockers. The school bus was horrible. Going to school was horrible. The more I isolated myself, the worse it got. So nothing seemed to be working. Suicide seemed like the only thing to do. And so I decided I was going to kill myself, and how I was going to do it was that we lived in a town, and we had a large bridge that connected our town to the major highway, and I thought I would go to the bridge at night and throw myself off the bridge, climb up onto the railing, and jump into the river. We knew that it was a fast-flowing river. It was a very dangerous place to go, and I thought that seemed like a really good thing to do. And so that's what I did. I waited until my parents were asleep, and I snuck out of the house, and I walked to the bridge, and I climbed up onto the railing when there was no cars around. And as I was standing up on the railing, and it didn't even occur to me that I might fall or to be scared of falling, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to get into the river. I wanted it all to end. And I climbed up onto that railing, and as I climbed up and I felt my balance tipping, something pulled me back. I felt a force grab me by the back of my neck and pull me down. And as I was pulled off the railing and I hit what you call sidewalk or the footpath, I looked around and there was nobody there. There was no one there in that time space with me, but something had pulled me back. And you would think I would have felt joy or anything, but at that moment I didn't. All I felt was complete and utter despair because I couldn't even kill myself. I remember thinking, how stupid am I? How dumb and worthless am I that I can't even end it? And so as I walked back home, I remember saying to God, to the universe, you better have a damn good reason for this. Seriously, you better have a damn good reason for all of this. And
I think she did.
There was a damn good reason for all of it, actually.
Yes.
Now
you know that, but at the time it sounds so horrific what you went through.
Oh, it was, and it was horrific for more years to come. There were moments of joy and insight and grasping, but it was a really long, hard, horrendous journey. Like so many people, I looked to everybody else for my source of wisdom, for my answers. It never occurred to me that I could go inside and find those, because everybody in society was telling me that the things I had inside myself were disgusting, unnatural, perverted. So how could I even trust myself? And a very long journey short, years later, when I was 27 years old, my first marriage to a wonderful woman was imploding because, of course, I couldn't love her the way that she needed to be loved. I had been involved in all sorts of reparative therapies to try and pray the gay away, heal the gay away, electric shock the gay away, and all these things had happened, and I was still gay. And it stunned me because I didn't think that this would happen. And so I was...
they call it reparative therapy. It's more like mind abuse, really. Wow.
Oh, it is. And the horrendous thing about reparative therapy for me is that it is done by so many good people They are good people with good hearts.
With positive intentions, or so they think.
Exactly, and they have no idea the shame and toxicity that they are spreading. Because what I realized years later is that being gay isn't the problem, it's the homophobia, it is the response and the judgment, it's the shooting of others. And that's the problem that happens with all of us, whatever our journey is. It's when we look to others for the affirmation of that journey, for being told that journey is correct, that's when we trip up and get into problems, right? So what happened was that I had come to the end of my journey. I was completely done. I had a beautiful daughter at that time, was 4 years old, so suicide was no longer an option for me. I couldn't do that to her. But I didn't know what to do anymore. I'd done everything that I could possibly do. And I was downstairs in the basement of our home, lying on the bathroom floor, crying, as was my nightly ritual. And I remember the same feeling came over me as did that night on the bridge. And I heard a voice, and this voice said to me, has it never occurred to you that you are turning out exactly the way I had intended? There are no mistakes. There is divinity in everything. Look at the natural world. And this voice went on and told me about all the diversity in the natural world, butterflies, animals, plants, creatures, everything in all the worlds, in all the cosmos. Why would it not be the same with humans? And I realized at that moment that I was gay, and that was okay, and my entire world shifted. And since then, I have changed my story a number of times, and now that is what I do, Sharon. I'm a story changer. I help other people and organizations change their stories, and that story can be changed in a variety of ways. It's not just about coming to terms with your sexuality. It can be coming to terms with your giftedness. It can be coming to terms with your brilliance. It can be coming to terms with the fact that you, regardless of who you are, have a unique role to play in this shifting human consciousness, this process we're all going through. Then you need to step up to the plate. You need to rewrite your story and say to everybody else, no more. I'm going to do what brings me joy in the highest sense of the word, and I'm going to do what makes me happy and shifts me to that place of being the contribution that I know I have to offer, whatever that contribution is.
Exactly. And wouldn't that be a great world if everybody did that?
It would be, exactly. I mean, that was one of the things I loved when, your story and what you're doing with Outstanding Lives came to me through a dear friend of mine who had heard about it and said, oh, you have to connect with Sharon. She totally gets it. And I meet so many people like you and I who are totally getting it, who are doing it in amazing ways, and whether that amazing way is volunteering, 2 days a week at the local soup kitchen, or helping, kids in another country or in their local community become more empowered and discover their brilliance, or whether it's being part of the Worldwide Messenger Network. We're all part of this amazing shift that's happening. And that's what I want to be able to do more of, is to let people look at the doorways that are in their lives. And that's why my company is called Doorways. You love the visual of a doorway because it changes your reality. You go from a doorway, you go from one space into another space. And the space that you left behind is still there. You just can't experience it, but you know it's there. And you're experiencing new space. And that's what the story is. You move from one story to another, and it gives you the permission to experience that story while knowing that those other stories are all there as well.
Well, thank you so much, Brad. I think it's very exciting. I'd love to see tons of people out to your events and inviting you to come and speak. So I think you've got a really powerful message, and it needs to get out there to tons and tons, especially of the youth need to hear this. And anybody who's suffering from the Exodus movement or the ex-gay cults and things like that, it would be really great to get this message out there so that they know it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be you, whoever you are.
Oh, absolutely. I do a lot of training with teachers and educators. In fact, I was doing an all-day workshop yesterday with our counselors. I do work with social workers, a lot of professionals who are going to be interacting with people and realizing it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to rename your story. Whether you're aging, it's okay. It's so okay to be where you are. And we, in our Western culture a lot, Sharon, we do this so much. We other our people, and we should ourselves to death, And while shooting ourselves to death, we miss all the beauty that we're in right now. So I'm very passionate about the message, and as many people as want to hear it, I will speak it for them.
Well, that's fantastic. So thank you so much. I'd like everyone to open the doorway for themselves into wherever they're wanting to go at this point. And I'm just going to ask the listeners to help Brad to share this message by liking and sharing this video so you can get it out there to more people, because everyone needs to hear it's okay to be gay. God created you as you are. It's all good. And then once you're done, you can click the link below for Brad's blog. So thank you so much, Brad. All the best, and it's been great talking with you.
It's been wonderful talking to you, Sharon. Thank you so much, and all the best with the amazing work that you're doing as well.
Thanks, Brad. You're outstanding.
Bye-bye.
Bye.